Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to my place. Today I want to tell you about the time I went to Oklahoma City. I went back in April of 2013. I stayed Saturday through Tuesday. I went to the Cowboy Museum, the Science Museum, and the Oklahoma City National Memorial. I'm off from my job today. I'm also off tomorrow. I've been working since last Thursday. I went in at 10 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I went in at 2 yesterday. I just ran some errands, by the way, and I got something to eat. In a moment, I'll tell you about my trip. Okay, I'm back. Well, I left Saturday morning, and the weather was cloudy on the way, but when I got to Oklahoma City, it started to rain, and my hotel was coming up 35 through Texas, or from Texas, rather, and my hotel was just off of Interstate 40, so I missed the turn off to 40, but I got to it eventually, and I found the La Quinta that I was staying at. On Sunday morning, I got up, had the continental breakfast, then I got in my car and drove over to the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum, which has more than 28,000 Western and American Indian artworks and artifacts. It also has the world's most extensive collection of American rodeo photographs, barbed wire, saddlery, and early rodeo trophies. Its collections focus on preserving and interpreting the heritage of the American West. It becomes an art gallery during the annual Prix de West Invitation Art Exhibition and Sale each June. The artists sell original works of art as a fundraiser for the museum. It was established in 1955 as the Cowboy Hall of Fame and Museum from an idea proposed by Mr. Chester A. Reynolds to honor the cowboy in his era. Later that same year, its name was changed to the National Cowboy Hall of Fame and Museum. In 1960, its name was changed to the National Cowboy Hall of Fame and Western Heritage Center, and it got its current name when it received full accreditation in 2000 from the American Alliance of Museums. It is a Hall of Fame there called the Hall of Great Westerners, which honors the real people who impacted the West. People like Lewis and Clark, Bill Hickok, former Presidents Ronald Reagan, Theodore Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, and Abraham Lincoln, Charles Goodnight and Oliver Loving, who led a cattle drive, which, by the way, was the inspiration for the cattle drive and the story Lonesome Dove, and other notables like Stephen F. Austin, former Arizona Senator and presidential candidate Barry Goldwater. The museum also has another Hall of Fame called the Hall of Great Western Performers, which honors actors who made their marks in the genre of the Western, such as John Wayne, Charlton Heston, Chuck Connors, James Ernest, Amanda Blake, Ward Bond, Jimmy Stewart, Michael Landon, Melissa Gilbert, Well, after I got done at the Cowboy Museum, I drove over to the Science Museum, Oklahoma. Okay, Science Museum, Oklahoma is home to the Kirkpatrick Planetarium and a number of specialized galleries. Among those is Destination Space, which honors the contributions of Oklahoma to aerospace. Notable artifacts include the Apollo Command Module Simulator, an Apollo lunar module replica built by Canadian inventor William Lishman, and artifacts related to Oklahoma aviator Wiley Post. The museum also houses the Oklahoma Aviation and Space Hall of Fame, which is a new second-floor exhibit with pictures and biographies of the inductees. One of the inductees is Eula Pearl Carter Scott. The main exhibit hall, with the historical exhibits including models of the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo capsules, as well as the actual Apollo Command Module simulator used to train the Apollo astronauts. The museum also has the International Photography Hall of Fame and Museum, which relocated to St. Louis, Missouri in 2013 and is no longer there at the Science Museum. Another museum that's not the museum that's not at the Science Museum anymore is the Red Earth Museum, which is still in Oklahoma City, but it's in downtown Oklahoma City. And also houses the International Gymnastics Hall of Fame, which features collections of medals, apparatus, and awards, pieces of sculptures, and a library. The organization is dedicated to honoring those who have further advanced the sport of gymnastics. Inductees include Nadia Comaneci, Ola Corbett, Bart Connor, Valerie Lukin, Mary Lou Retton, Larissa Latinina, Nikolai Andrianov, and Vera Klozvatka. Valerie Lukin, I believe that's Nasty Lukin's father. And also at a Dome Theater, but it's closed now. Anyway, while I was there, I saw a show put on where they did some science experiments, and then I ate a burger at the snack bar there. Anyway, after I got done there, I went back to my hotel, watched TV, ate supper, and went to bed. Then I got up Monday, had breakfast, and went to downtown Oklahoma City, where I visited the Oklahoma City National Memorial, which honors the victims of the April 19th, 1995 attack, which until the September 11, 2001 attacks was the largest worst terrorist attack on the U.S. soil, and still is considered the worst act of domestic terrorism. Anyway, on the ground where the federal building stood is a reflecting pool, which has chairs on each side of it representing the victims. Next to it is a building where they have which has the actual museum with different artifacts and news clippings and newspaper clippings and video of the coverage. Before you see that, you go into a room which is set up as a conference room, and you hear the recording of a meeting that was taking place in that same building when the bomb went off. The sound of the blast, and you see pictures of the victims flash on the wall, then the doors open to the rest of the museum. And like I said, they have film of the news coverage, newspaper articles, stuff about the memorial service they had a few days later. And there's also a section about the September 11, 2001 attacks. One of the souvenirs I got on my trip was a John Wayne tumbler that I got at the Cowboy Museum. Well, anyway, I came back home on Tuesday. I left around 8 or 9. I got home around sometime in the afternoon. And I stopped and ate at Joe's Crab Shack in Fort Worth, Texas. And that's a little bit of my trip to Oklahoma City back in April of 2013. I had a good time, and when I went to the Cowboy Museum, the man who had him at ticket to asked me if I was from Texas, and I said, yeah. He said, are you a Longhorn fan? I said, yeah. And he was a Sooner fan. Well, nobody's perfect. I'm recording this through the Spreaker Studio app from Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com has a lot of podcasts on a variety of genres, from arts, politics, news, sports, history, with such people as Ben Shapiro, Chris Jericho, Dan Rather, and a whole bunch of others. and people you never heard of like me. Huh. Anyway, on the next episode, I'll tell you about the time I went to Memphis, where I went and visited Graceland. So, thank you very much.